Hello. Yay. I love it when YouTube sends out the notification that says that I am live. Because it just helps. It helps a lot. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to share. So give me just a moment while I do that. I guess I can copy this link. And go over here and click it. Oops, there we go. All right, should be cooking now. Okay, so back to this. We're good. All right. So I'm going to start with, today we are going to color Mice Holiday. And Mice Holiday is just a cute little, you know, honestly, it could be an all occasion stamp. You can color her pretty much any way you want, but it does have kind of holiday-ish, Christmas-ish sentiments. So there is that. So I'm going to stamp the little girl and the mouse. And I have my stamp pads in my drawer here, so I'm just going to use Memento Tuxedo Black. And there we go. Oh my goodness. RJ just saw a dog, so away he goes running. My stamp pad's kind of drying out, so that's why it takes forever to actually get the image all inked up. I have my espresso. I'm not really putting any pressure on it. I just like to hold it like this. Just getting nice even stamp lines here. And notice I didn't do super well at inking it, again, because my ink pad is totally drying out. So I'm gonna come at it a second time. And then I should be good. That's why I love using a Misty. And I think, oh, I was gonna say my magnet's too high, but it actually works just fine. So there we go. We have the little girl all stamped out and ready to go, reading a story to her little mouse friend. I'm going to find my chamois, which, there it is. I'm like, I don't even know where I put my stamp chamois. I have my stamp chamois in this little case. And I have two of them in here, so obviously this one is way more used and abused. And I just used my little sprayer, my Tim Holtz sprayer. Spray some water and then wipe it off. Now, usually what I do in this instance is I take my masking paper and I go ahead and I put a piece of masking paper here and I stamp the mask. But I have already made masks for these before, so I'm just going to use the masks that I already have. I just wanted you to see that this is the masking paper that I generally use. So I'm going to take my stamps off, put them back on the carrier sheet, the acetate. And there we go. I'm going to set those aside. Pull out my piece of paper with my little stamped image on it. And we're going to get to coloring. Who's excited for coloring? I am. All right. So let me grab my coloring marker blend stand. And let's start grabbing some colors. I'm gonna do a slightly alternative skin blend. So I'm gonna use E000, E00, YR00, if I can find it. There it is. And then I like my E11, but then I'm going to use RB95. I'm telling you, I cannot see my marker colors today. It's like driving me nuts. Yeah. So there we go. All right, we're going to start coloring. I like to move that off to the side a little bit because I'm so crazy right-handed that I tend to knock it over when I move or when I rotate my paper. So I'm going to start just by coloring her legs. Nice smooth coat, and then this is her leg as well. Okay. Then I'm going to go to my RB95. Using small brush strokes in order to get a nice smooth ending to this color so that I can blend it well with the next color. I'm just adding this shadow where I think there would be shadow. So down here on the bottom of her leg, where it's closest to the floor, where it tucks underneath this other leg, underneath her dress, just like that. And then I'm going to, down here on this foot, again where it's underneath her leg, where it's closest to the floor. That one's pretty much going to be all in shadow. Now I'm going to use this E11, and I'm going to use larger brush strokes, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to push that shadow back down towards itself. I don't want to drag the shadow into the highlight because then I'll muddy up my highlight. So I really want to push that shadow backwards so that it stays in the shadow. Notice I'm never letting my brush nib sit on the paper for very long. I'm always moving it, always letting it lift from the paper. Now to my YR00. Now this is the true color. It's the center color in our color blend. Color number 3 of 5. So it's the middle color. So I'm going to be a little bit more liberal with this color, meaning I'm going to use more of it. Because this is the color of her skin, devoid of any highlights or any shadows. So always brushing that color on. There we go. So see how that line is much thicker than the other ones that I used? That's what I'm doing with it. Okay. Now I have my E00. And again, using those soft brush strokes. Working ever more towards that highlight. And then this is my E000. Brush strokes right in the center to blend all that out. And there's her legs. So now I'm gonna color her arms and her face. I like to go in sections. It makes it easier for me to kind of break down what's going on with the stamp set so that I'm not overwhelmed. Also, it prevents your paper from drying out too much in between markers. So again, one nice coat of this over her entire face. I've gone up into her hair a bit, but that's because I'm going to overlap her skin and her hair, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm back to my RV95, and we're going to start by placing a shadow underneath her sleeve. And where her arm creases. Now, I'm not an art major, so I don't spend too much time really concerning myself with light source. I know that sounds bad, but I just put shadows where I think they would be, and I don't spend a whole lot of time dissecting the picture and seeing if they're 100% right or whatever. So if light source concerns you, by all means, do a full study on light source. But I like to color like therapeutically, and so I don't want to stress out about if I'm doing it right or if I'm doing it wrong or if my light source is incorrect. So I don't. I guess there's no other way to put that. So I don't stress myself out about it. Now I'm just putting little brush strokes around her hairline because her hair is gonna kind of overlap there. I'm gonna put a little shadow around her nose. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit more shadow in here to kind of contour her face just a little bit. Just like that. Okay? Now to my E11. And again, I'm just going over everywhere where I put that shadow before, elongating those shadows. Adding more shadow to that hairline. And then I'm going to push this shadow back in because I don't want it to spread. That's a big thing when you're pencil coloring as well. I'm going to add a little shadow where her face kind of has an indentation here where the artist drew that. And then I'm going to go down to her arms. There's usually on these stamp sets a lot of cues from the artist on where the shadows should go. And so I pay a lot of attention to the cues from the artists. So there we go. Now I'm going to go to the YR00. I'm going to come around the side of her face. Make the bridge of her nose. Add to her forehead. Coming out now into the light. Her ear. Make sure not to forget the other ear. And go down into her arm. Nice easy brush strokes to blend those together. Well, hello there. Someone else is popping in. Say hello so I can see who's here. So now I'm going to my E00. Gonna finish blending in her ear and her neck. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend in her arms. I always end up doing the arms just a little bit darker because I feel like my arms are a little bit darker. Mainly because I wear tank tops a lot. If for no other reason. And notice I just color right over the top of her glasses as well as her eyebrows. I'm just getting this nice smooth color into her face. I'll worry about all the rest of that stuff later. Okay. Now my last color is that E00. Brush down onto her nose. Again, nice light brush strokes. I'm not leaving the marker sitting on the paper to oversaturate. Just going nice and easy. And there's really not a lot to do with that one, but that's okay. That's where we're at. So there is her skin. Now, I think today I want to make her blonde. So I'm gonna find a light color. Blonde is really hard for me because I feel like there's not a lot of dimension in the blonde. So I tend to do more of a brown blonde or like a dirty blonde kind of color. So I'm gonna go with E23, E55, E53, E31, and E50. Okay, so nice yellowy brown, super light brown, blonde-ish color. So I'm going to start with making small brush strokes from her ponytail forward. Anywhere where there's this deep, long line, I'm going to also put brush strokes along that line, because again, I'm taking the cues from the artist. I can do brush strokes both towards my body and away from my body. I'm also, wherever this dark line is, I'm going to add a couple of brush strokes. Okay, there's also a little piece of her hair down here. I'm just going to color it in dark. And then her ponytail right here, where it comes out from her ponytail holder, would definitely have a shadow, as well as along the back of her head and behind her ear. Again, wherever these dark lines are, I'm also going to add a little bit. Just like that. Oh, hi Nona. How are you? I'm so happy you're here watching. I love coloring this stamp set. It, you can do so many different things with it. She doesn't have to be Christmas. You know, put her in pastel colors and it's Easter. Put her in, you know, fall colors, it's Thanksgiving. Put her in summer colors, it's like a back to school thing. You know, you can definitely use this stamp set in so many ways. There we go. Hi, Elizabeth. You've caught us live at last. Yay! I know, I miss you too, Nona. Super duper. I came home to a household full of sick creatures, though. My husband has a cold of some sort or another, some sort of virus. My kiddo is super duper sick, I think fighting a flu or something like that. We finally got him on some antibiotics yesterday, so hopefully he's turning the corner and making a mend, on the mend, all that stuff. I'm trying to fight it. Okay, so here's my E3 one. This is just going to add a little bit of shadowy, like gray tone to her hair. I don't want it to be like yellow. So I'm just adding a few strands here and there. I'm also going to use this for her eyebrows. And then my last color, I know it is, it's super sad, is this E50, and I'm just going to come in here with quick, super light brush strokes to kind of fill in any of the white spots. All right. So I'm going to set those aside. Now, I'm going to color the little mouse next. I know it's not part of her, and, you know, I'm kind of jumping around, but I just love coloring him, so I'm just going to color him next. So I'm going to go back to this RV95, and I'm only really going to use 2 colors on his tail. So anywhere where there's a little bit of shadow, where the artist drew those little lines, I'm just going to come at the RV with the RV95. And then usually mice have these, well, little white and gray mice have these big old pink ears. And so I'm just going to color his ear pink. Also, their toes tend to be, and their hands tend to be pink. So, ooh, and his little nose. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to grab a marker that I so rarely use. but it's the absolute perfect color for this, and that's R02. If you do not have R02, I don't know what's up, but this is like the best color for these little mice. I love it. So again, I'm probably going to use a third color. I like to do 3 colors. It's against my nature to do 2 colors. So I'm going to use something fairly soft. Let's do RV91. Kind of soften this up just a little bit. Look at how cute this little tiny mouse is. He's so cute. Look at him. What a cute little baby. Hey, Sandy Ladoohoo. All right. I keep on getting so many notifications for Small Business Saturday, so my phone keeps like stuttering. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab some W's and I'm gonna make this little mouse a little fuzzy mouse. So I'm gonna start with W5, and again I'm gonna come in from the shadows and underneath his big old pink ear that we just colored. I'm gonna come down underneath his little hand and then up from his little behind that he's sitting on. The most important thing when you're coloring animals and hair is to make sure that you're coloring along with the shape of the animal, the way that the hair would grow. So I started with W5, then I'm going to go to W4. Elizabeth, I'm so happy you caught us live. You've been emailing me, or you emailed me about doing YouTube lives. So, you're one of the people that emailed me. So I'm trying it out. It's a new thing. Trying it out. We'll see how it goes. I'll do it for a little while and see how we do with it. And then maybe it'll be a more permanent feature in our lineup. You never know. For now, we do most of our lives over on Facebook in the Sweet Sentiment Stamps and Friends group. But I know from talking to a bunch of people that you guys are kind of liking the whole YouTube thing too. Thank you. It is good advice for hair, right? So, like I said, we're trying it out. We'll see how it goes. I know this is the first one, so we'll see if y'all like it. Nona's here, so that makes me happy. Elizabeth's here, that makes me happy. And my bestie's here, and that makes me happy. Okay, so look at that cute little mouse. Isn't he adorable? And he's so fast to color up, like really fast. Yeah. Reactions are easier on Facebook, but hey, you know, we're trying to keep up with the times and trying to you know, make sure that we reach out to everyone. So we're happy to try it here, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm gonna color her shoes now, and I think I'm gonna go with like typical little Mary Jane shoes. So they're just gonna be little black Mary Jane shoes. When I'm done here, I'm supposed to go over to my mom's and help her decorate for Christmas. She has vertigo, and she was going to crawl up on the counter to put Christmas decorations on top of her cabinets. And I'm like, ugh, as if I don't have enough to do. I don't want to worry about my mom falling off the counter. So I'm just gonna go over there and help her with her Christmas decorations. C8, because I do not want her to fall. So I will be the monkey on the counter today. I started putting my tree up last night. I haven't gotten to finish that either. So after this, I might go back to doing that as well. Okay, and then C6 to fill in the centers here. There we go. So now I think I'm gonna put her in a red. No, wait, I'm not going to. That is a bold lie. So I am going to put her in a white dress. Hey, Roberta, how are you? I'm gonna put her in a white dress because I have plans to mask her off and do a red and green background. Yay. So I'm gonna put her in a white dress. Are you guys ready for this? So with that being said, I'm going to use N3, N1, and NO. So I'm going to start, and I know right away I need to take both caps off because I don't want any blobs on this. And I'm going to outline all of her little bow here because it would cast a shadow onto her dress. I used to have a dress like this when I was little, and I called it my sailor dress. I don't know why, but it was navy blue and it had white collars, and then it had a red bow. So yeah. I called it my sailor dress. Not really sure why. Okay, so just adding in the shadow, a little bit down onto her shoulder. I don't want to do too much. I'm also going to do the skirt at the same time because there's not a whole lot of shadow going on here. Sandy, did you guys start your drive home already? Sandy was at the in-laws for Thanksgiving, so I know they were headed home today. Sailor Moon, right? I like the ends as well. It's a great gray. Yep, on the road. On the road again. I couldn't resist. Sorry. I had to do it. How many hours till you're home? Isn't it like a 6-hour drive-ish? I think you said. I do not envy you that. Okay, don't forget about her skirt. Yep, 6 hours. Look at me all paying attention and stuff. Okay, then I have my NO, Mano. not being super careful with this one. Just going around and adding those shadows, blending them out, softening up the edges. I'm going to come up again with my colorless blender and push all of this shadow back. Push that shadow back, y'all. Push that shadow back. Okay. So colorless blender, I'm going to come in. Really saturating this. I colored outside the line there, so I'm going to take care of that. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to go back to these blacks that I had, the dark colors, the C's. Back in black. Haha. And I'm going to color, so I'm going to leave her color white, and I'm going to color her little bow black. Almost like it's a school uniform. There we go. I think I'm going to color these cuffs black too. Took me a second to ponder that. Roberta, I haven't talked to you for a while. How are you doing? Did you have a wonderful holiday? We're doing a sale right now in our shop for customer appreciation. So if you haven't shopped with us a while, it's sweetsentiment.us. And if you use the code BFSweeties, you get 25% off of your entire order. And that's huge. Aw, thanks, bestie. That's absolutely astronomical. So load your cart, and everything is included in the sale. So paper, stamps, dies, even the color cards and classes, anything that you want, stencils, sequins, all kinds of stuff. It's all 25% off. So use your code BFSweeties and you will be happy you did. You're back home now, that's good. I'm just using my N1 to add a little bit of shadow back here on her collar and right here where it gathers. And then I'm going to use my colorless blender to soften that up. I think my nib is broken on that blender. Okay, so there's that. Now, I like to recycle colors that I used. So I'm just gonna grab two colors from her hair. This is the E31 and the E50. And I'm gonna use this for her book. And I realized that little spot right there is her dress. So I have to go back in and color that because I was not thinking that that was her dress. And it is. Okay. So I'm going to go with my N3. I keep on pulling off the wrong end of this one. my N1, my NO, and then my colorless blender. And notice I turned my paper over so I could push that all back into the shadow. There we go. Now it's colored. So now the only thing is that little bit of crease cover for her book. And for some reason I'm on this kick where I like to have my books be like this olivey green color. So that's what it's gonna be. A little bit of olive green. And since it's such a tiny amount, I'm just gonna use one color. Weird. I know, weird. So it's YG63 is the color I used for that. Okay, so there she is. I am going to now pull off the masks that I previously used. So I'm gonna start with the mask for this cute little mouse. Wrap his little tail around there. There we go. And then I always save my masks because I can use them several times. So I tend to always save them. Unless I like ruin it with a whole bunch of water or something and then not so much. Okay, and then what I like to do is I flip this over and I use my espresso to make sure that that mask is stuck really well. Okay, so now, fun part. I have the new Lumberjack plaid. Let me zoom out just a little bit for you. I have the new Lumberjack plaid and I have mowed lawn. So we're gonna open this bad boy up because, I mean, why not, right? And then I have a Rabbit Hole Designs blending brush for every oxide color. So I usually will write on them so that I know which one goes with which. So now I'm just gonna do, what do I wanna do? How do I wanna do this? I think I'm gonna start with green and then I'm gonna go out to red. So here it goes. Here goes nothing. I'm just using a super light touch on this, just to put a little green haze all the way around her and her little mouse buddy. Oop, don't do that. Hopefully I didn't just get green on her dress. Yes, I can't use this mask anymore because it's dead. Okay, and then before I get too far, I'm gonna pull out, so I usually have card bases made. What did I do with all of them? I should have one right here. Okay. So I have an A2 card base with a black card front. And I'm gonna use my little trimmer and trim this to the right size. So the A2 card base is 5.5, and then the black matting is 5 3/4. So I'm gonna cut this to 5 1/4. And then again, the A2 card base is 4 1/4. So then the black matting is 4 1/8. So I'm going to cut this to 4. And the reason I do that is if I come around this with red now, I want to have red all the way around the outside, and I don't want to cut it off as I'm doing this. Ooh, fresh ink. Ready? So pretty. Okay, so I'm going to start off the paper, and I'm going to come onto the paper just like this. Ooh, this is a beautiful color, you guys. Super duper pretty. I love it. You're going to need to get her. Well, we happen to be having a sale right now. So hop onto the shop, www.sweetsentiment.us, and use the code BF Sweeties. I was going to say Besties. BF Sweeties. And you'll get 25% off. This is really fun. I really like this color. Okay. And now, since I've totally destroyed my mask, I'm just going to go ahead and spritz. Oops, I locked it. Okay. Let that sit for just a sec. Grab a tissue or a paper towel or anything handy. And then I'm going to lay this over the top and blot it off. Yep, 25% off your entire order. Okay. So, big reveal. Are you ready? Oh, look at that. How cute. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now I'm going to make this into a Christmas card. And I had my little Misty set up, but I decided just now that I'm going to use a different sentiment. So I'm going to grab my big Misty. And what did I just do? Oh, here it is. A piece of Sweet Sentiment coloring paper. Line up my magnets. And then I'm going to use gifts of time and love are the ingredients of a truly Merry Christmas. I don't know why, but I just really like that one. So I want it all the way down at the bottom of my paper because I want to cut this paper strip. So just like that. Shopping, yay! Okay, then I'm going to grab my VersaFine because I like to stamp my sentiments in VersaFine so that they're super crisp. And since I won't be spraying any more water or doing any more Copic coloring, Use your espresso to get a nice even pressure, so you get a nice even sentiment. And I like to stamp it twice so that it's super duper vibrant. It's just a thing with me. Some people have like OCD where they have to knock on the door 3 times or whatever. I have to stamp my sentiments twice. It's just a thing. The elves are sold out, unfortunately. Yes, they are super duper cute. But the Rudolph set is still there. I love the Rudolph set. It's a little moose and a little reindeer. And you can stamp the lights in the little moose's antlers. So stinking cute. Like he's all tangled in the lights. Okay. I almost forgot to take my sentiment out of here. That wouldn't work out very well. So I'm going to try out, I got this little teeny tiny trimmer from Michelle Brownstein. Such a sweet girl. And she got this for me, and she got Sandy one as well. She gave them to us at the retreat that we just had. And so I'm going to try it out. We're going to give her a whirl. Ready? Oh, look, it cut perfectly. It's from Heffy Doodle. Perfect. Super cute. Super cute. Okay. So, I have my little card. Gotta make sure that my card opens the right way. And I'm gonna lay this all out. And then I'm gonna trim this down. But I'm gonna have this be right underneath them. Isn't that cute? Probably be cuter if it was on screen where you could see it. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, so I know that this is 4 1/4. So I'm gonna trim this down. Ooh, that one doesn't even have 4 1/4. It's little. So I gotta go back to my big whamma jamma. And I'm just going to cut a little bit off of each side. Looks good to me. I know, isn't it cute? It is adorable. Michelle is super sweet. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my Barely Art glue. Try to get my needle out of there. It's been weeks. Weeks, I tell you. Weeks since I've crafted. Ooh, I need to refill this one. I picked up the one that's almost empty. Okay. And then the cool thing about Barely Art glue is I can stick this to here. And see how it's all wonky? I can like move it around until it's exactly where I want it to be. And then I flip it over and I use my espresso. Same thing for this layer. Again, make sure your card opens the right way. I know, look at that honey bowl full of honey delicious stuff. Okay, then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna glue it on. Archie, no honey. Okay. It doesn't look quite straight to me. Give me just a second. I totally messed it up. Hold on. Needs more glue now. There we go. There we go. That's better. Okay. And then I kind of smudged it a little bit. So guess what? It's an opportunity for embellishment. So I'm going to take my little jewel picker. I put some little smudges right here. So we're going to embellish it. Because that's how we roll. These little jewels happen to be from the Ton. And Sandy and I just love them. And most of what's in here, Sandy's probably bought for me, if we're being honest. Because she's such a good bestie. And she buys me all the cool stuff. So we became addicted to these little jewels from the Ton. And I believe they're doing a Black Friday sale as well, or a Small Business Saturday sale. And sorry, I'm looking for the size that I want. That's not the size that I want. I'm gonna do one of these tiny ones. They're doing a Small Business Saturday sale as well. I think I'm gonna do these right here. And so it's the tonstamps.com. Sandy's giggling over there because she knows. She knows she finds all the cool bling. She's got me using bling. And that makes her happy. Because I used to not be a bling person. And she has me using all the bling now. I think that's adorable. Look at how cute that is. I love it. I love it. So to finish this off, I like to add a couple of really special finishing touches. So I'm gonna grab, what is our code? BF Sweeties. So I'm gonna add a little pupil to her eye, like that. And to him as well. And then I'm going to make her hair tie white, like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little silver earring to her ear. Like that. And then I'm going to take my glossy accents and I'm going to fill in her glasses. And I will let that dry. And then she has like Coke bottle glasses, which I think is awesome. So there you have it. Cute little card made just for the holidays on YouTube Live for y'all. I always stamp my cards and sign them so that people know they have an original. And there you go. There's our little Christmas card for the day. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you go out and go shopping. www.sweetsentiment.us. And the code right now, all the way through Monday, is BF Sweeties. It stands for Best Friend Sweeties. Or you could think Black Friday Sweeties, whatever you want to. Yay, Elizabeth, I'm so happy. Okay, well, I'm off to decorate for Christmas and probably have another cup of coffee because y'all know how I am. But I will see you all later. Drive safe, bestie. I hope you make it home soon and without too many curse words as you're driving down the crazy highway on a holiday weekend. Anyways, I will see you all later and look for more YouTube live videos. Thank you. Toodles.